Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello, how's it going?
Good. We were supposed to start half an hour ago, but I lost track of time.
Yeah,
And the one
it's
time Parse was on time, things weird. Anyways,
Yeah,
it's the
clear
sport.
schedule today. I finished Jedi Fallen Order
I
like
gotta start Jedi
yesterday.
Fallen. I gotta start that
That
game.
was
I've
amazing.
I've heard it's amazing.
It's
Don't spoil it,
I'm not
or
gonna
I will
spoil
I
it.
will force choke you from here. Anyways, we're not talking about Star Wars. This is not a Star Wars podcast. We would need another friend of ours to do that, and that would be painful. It's Sportculation. Back again. We're discussing this week, the NHL again, because we like talking about hockey. And of course, there's still flub here and there about whether or not the season's coming back, but at least we know one thing. When the season does come back, the divisions will be arranged as follows. There will be an East, a Central, a West, and a Canada. You heard me right. A Canada division of all the Canadian teams because traveling would not be ideal at this time. So we have some questions. We're gonna discuss some things. So as we run this down, let's run down the divisions, shall we? In the East division, we have the following.
To the Metropolitan, right?
It would just it's like geographically based. It's not even like
Gee,
metro
I
anymore.
thought you
Yeah,
were gonna
Yeah.
call it based
yeah.
on what
It's
divisions are.
just It's not even like metro Atlantic. It's just east west.
you
Like
just
that's
want
literally
to
what it's called. Like
decrease the amount of travel.
yeah.
I got you.
The Buffalo Sabres makes sense. Carolina, okay. New Jersey, the Islanders and Rangers, Philly, Washington, and of course the Bruins. Where is that music coming from?
That's sorry, that's
Ah.
my dad. He's singing.
There you go. Okay, the more you know. In the Central Division, you have the Columbus Blue Jackets. Go Blue Jackets. The Panthers, Nashville, Pittsburgh. Wait, really? Okay. St.
Really?
Louis, Tampa, and representing me and Parse, Chicago and Detroit. My thumbs are up, but you can't
Really?
see because my right.
That's got to be fun.
This is going to be great for us.
Total Midwest division.
Yeah,
Well,
this
I
is
mean,
like-
minus
the show-
Bruins?
The
minus-
show is
minus
going to
the
be
Wild.
great. Well, so then the West, we have all the California teams,
Okay, that makes sense.
Arizona,
Every
And-
desert team, basically.
every
Plus
desert team,
Minnesota.
plus
Las
Minnesota,
Vegas.
Colorado, Dallas, and the California and Vegas teams.
Yeah,
So
I guess-
Anaheim, San Jose, all that. That makes, I guess, sense
yeah.
as
That's
far
not
as
really
traveling
bad
goes.
travel at all if you're out there. It's like a couple
Yeah,
bus
and
rides.
then finally, of course, in the Canadian division, yay, all the Canadian teams. And if you don't know what those are,
What a
or
surprise.
or you only know about the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm sorry if you do only know about the Toronto Maple Leafs. We've got, of course, Calgary Flames, Edmonton, Montreal, the Ottawa Senators, the Maple Leafs, Vancouver, and representing Anton, your Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even from Winnipeg or
Yeah, he's
nothing.
not, but
I just like the Winnipeg Jets for
So
slightly longer story.
my
but yeah.
first question, looking at these divisions, are why is Pittsburgh in Central but Philly is in the East?
Dude.
I think it's because they just wanted to keep enough of the some of like the super hardcore rivalries. So like the Northeast megalopolis kind of rivalry.
Right.
So like and wait, is Buffalo part of that? Are they part of the Eastern?
Buffalo
No,
is
Buffalo's part of the,
Buffalo's East.
Yeah,
Buffalo's
Buffalo's
East.
Yeah.
Buffalo and Philly are East.
I think-
Pittsburgh is Central.
I think it's like maybe some people in Pittsburgh feel like they have a little more in common with people from like Ohio and Cleveland than they do with like, Philly, which is like East Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Because like it's more of like closer to like a quote unquote Rust Belt city. So I guess
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
some, I guess just geographically it's a little closer.
Yeah. So if we look and for the first time,
Do we actually have Pittsburgh?
so
in our
in-
division?
for the first time in Sportculation history, whoa, what's this? Anyways,
Sorry if you guys are only listening.
yeah, if you're listening
Podcast.
on audio,
We
we
have a YouTube channel if you want to come watch this.
Yes.
YouTube.
So I'm sharing screens right now to explain. So as you can see, of course, we have all the divisions listed out here. And from perspective, by the way, thank you for to diebytheblade.com. This is where I'm getting this from. This is how the divisions are looking. So each line, each color represents a division.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how it's all mapped out. What kind of concerns me will be travel time between certain teams, just because like even the smallest difference of like a half hour to an hour could make a difference for teams while they're traveling.
Sure, but like I mean, in the past, teams have had to, you've had to go like
Yeah,
Boston to LA or Boston to Vancouver, and that's even crazier, right?
that
Like,
is true.
No team has to do that. Like the furthest you see is Montreal to Vancouver.
Yeah,
on this
Actually,
map.
yeah, let's take a look at the not the Stanley Cup playoffs this year, but the one before, where when Boston choked. Remember when Boston had to play Carolina, and that's a pretty big road trip.
from Boston to North Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah, so
Well-
like from Boston to go play the Hurricanes, that's a pretty big road trip. They avoid that this time around.
Yeah.
because they get to play in our division. But the fact that we
Uh,
get, I mean, the bane of your existence, you got to go and deal with, Yusuf, and the guys I lucked out in mine. I got
Yeah.
lucky.
but you know,
Austin.
now I need to find.
If you don't have a question, I want to like say something.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's this quote from Eugene Melnick of
Oh
the owner of
no!
the Senators,
Don't
who
say
said-
it. No, no.
who was like, I don't want a all Canadian division because they're every other Canadian team is good and mine's not. That's basically what the guy said.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Uh,
true.
it's true
And,
though. He's not wrong.
Because like, yeah, Toronto is obviously, they are a playoff team. Montreal is still a playoff team. Winnipeg is okay.
Going from the off season, the three
Yeah.
best Canadian teams going forward are going to be the Canucks, the Leafs, and the Flames.
Yeah,
No cap.
yeah, and the Oilers.
The Oilers, they just gotta
they're
solve
like,
a thing
they're
or two.
playoff.
They are.
They could make the playoffs, and then Ottawa is just like bottom of the barrel. The only one closer, lower than them is, of course, your very own Detroit team. Yeah, the Red Wings were the only ones below them. So he was like, you know what? I want to play the teams that suck just as much as I do. So, teams like Detroit. Like,
Fair
he didn't
enough.
actually say that, but like
Hey, Melnick.
Melnick didn't
Shut
actually say
up.
that. He didn't actually say that. The reporters just sort of like extrapolated.
Okay,
Or-
whichever reporter it was that extrapolated that, I hate you. Just so you know,
It was
we
me.
beat.
I slipped
it
him a
was
20.
Anton. I knew
I
it. Get you. Here's the thing: when you look at last season compared to now, it's obviously going to be a lot different. And like, now, granted, I don't know how travel is going to work because I think they're planning on doing inter division games as well. So teams for, I think it's only one game for the season, will have to travel out to another team in like a different division and then come right back.
Yeah, and I
But
think
it's
they're
gonna
planning to
be
do like
cool.
a series type of thing. Or like
Yeah,
you
I
go
think it's
there
gonna
and
be,
you
like,
play like
series
2-3
based.
games.
Yeah.
So like,
Kind of
This is-
similar to like how baseball does it.
Yeah.
but I hope this is only for playoffs because this is for regular season.
No, this
All
is for regular season because they
Regular
want to limit
season,
the
yeah.
amount of travel that you have to do.
Yeah.
all these Canadian teams got to go travel to the States. That's gonna be a big issue.
No. They're all playing within their division for.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
said there was interconference play as well.
Oh no, sorry.
Potentially. They're not entirely.
But not
They-
for for
yeah.
Canada. I don't.
I
think
doubt
that
for
our
Canada. I
yeah,
don't think it's
the
going to be
government
for
Of
Canada,
course,
would
you
not
probably go play the
allow
Kings.
that
I love that. That's
cross border. Like Braden Holtby and his tortoises.
Yeah, and those poor
he couldn't
tortoises.
get 'em- I mean, it had nothing to do with. It just had to do with more like the exporting.
the
laws or
the
whatever.
legality of owning
just a lot of
tortoises
bureaucracy,
in Canada.
but-
Yeah, he got them
Yeah.
through. They have
He got 'em
officially
through.
landed. Yeah, the
Braden
tortoises
Holtby.
have made it. I can't.
Tortoises have made it to Vancouver.
it's a day to celebrate. They have
Yeah.
made it. What of all things? Like, okay, but the thing is, like, as far as travel goes, yeah, it's gonna be easier for, at least the Canadian teams to travel because they don't have to worry about the border. Time zone difference isn't going to be that hectic unless you're going to Vancouver and you're like out here. If you're like us or Montreal or Ottawa, but if you're there for say 4 days playing 3 games there, it won't be that. I don't think it'll be that detrimental because you have time to sort of get used to it. What happened? Uh-oh. Yeah, so if you have like Toronto, for example, going to Vancouver, and if they're playing like series based, like what baseball does, where they'll be there for like a few days and play 2 or 3 games, then time zone differences aren't going to be that hurtful to them. Because that's one big issue I know a lot of teams have when they go, like, say they have to go play in California one night, and then the next day or the day after that, they've got to be back at their home stadium, and it's all the way on the East Coast. Like that time difference is that 3 hours of time difference and all the travel time in between is going to mess them up a lot. But if they're there for a couple days, they can sort of, what's what we're looking for? Just like readjust for a few days and then go back, readjust. So it doesn't have to be like a constant hassle of needing to readjust to time zone differences and travel time. The other thing too is I know teams that are within like, I guess, driving distances of each other are talking about whether or not they're going to be using a bus. Yeah.
As much as possible. That's why when you look at that map that you showed, like the Canadian teams is like that. But the West, you look at the Western Conference, far West, it's all 90-minute bus rides. Like, but obviously the further ones will be a little more.
Yeah.
And there's no Seattle.
No, because Seattle doesn't start till next year.
That's not until next season.
I know, but Seattle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, Seattle,
Parse, they don't have players. What do you think? There's just going to be like invisible people?
Yes.
Do you think they're going to summon an actual Kraken to play hockey with them?
Yes.
On behalf of the people who are just waiting for that team to finally be inducted into the NHL, it can't happen any quicker, can it? We are holding our breath, just waiting.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah,
right?
I think
so,
I'm really looking forward to that like Seattle-Vancouver rivalry.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah.
Because like Vancouver, they got a couple rivalry here and there.
Yeah.
They got rivalry with Boston, but like who doesn't at this point?
Everyone does.
So, every team does, no matter the sport.
Every city and every city does.
So, really, like I think that Vancouver, Seattle rivalry is going to be super fun, and I think that's I think that's just going to bring some more drama, which makes things more interesting in the sport. Just a little bit. Some friendly competition.
All right. So, here are a few more details in regards to this from Pierre Lebrun. And this is what, and Elliot Friedman as well. So this is what the common threads are for reports. All the Canadian teams will be in one division. Everyone else is going to be split up, as we had explained earlier in the show. Potentially 60-game season. Potentially 60 games. If not, I think 71.
25% reduction.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that.
And to answer our question from earlier, teams will be playing strictly in their division, so they won't be traveling outside of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
until playoffs.
Yeah, and then scheduling potentially will look like teams will be playing 2 straight games in whatever city they travel to. So, yeah, say like the Leafs are going to Vancouver. They're playing 2 games in Vancouver, and then they're coming back and then playing however many games in Toronto, and then via V and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry, Anton?
No, go ahead.
Okay. The one thing I'm very, I guess, excited about to see with this new potential, like these new divisions, will be the rivalries. For example, I think like having a multiple game series in the regular season for like Toronto and Ottawa, Toronto and Montreal, it'll be nice. We could get a longer Battle of Alberta. We get more Battle of Alberta. We get that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we get.
I think it's day after day, right? Is it like?
Yeah, I believe it would be day after day. I don't think they'd be like.
Yeah, because it'd be weird if you just like you're there and then you spend like a day resting.
To just rest and then back.
Yeah.
No, I think like they want to get everything as done as possible, or as done as possible, as done as possible. Done as fast as possible.
Yeah, because they got to clear way for the Olympics. Because NBC Sports has
They're broadcasting rights.
yeah, they have the license for both
Yep.
NHL and
they
the Olympics.
yeah,
so they want to get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah, as Elliot Friedman reports, they want to be done by mid-July. It's the hope.
Yeah,
same
with
thing. I know
playoffs and everything.
Yeah,
and I'm
same
guessing
thing
they're
with the
probably going
NBA.
to do like a hub city.
Yeah,
type
they're
of
probably
playoffs.
going to do another bubble again with the success
Because
of
once
last
we
time.
get another COVID breakout like what you're seeing in NFL, it's just gonna prolong the season.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess it just depends also like how well they handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how, I guess, quote unquote responsible the players are. I think Canada, I guess in general, is handling COVID a little bit better than the United States in some states. So maybe that will mean that there are less
just an update
breakouts.
up here in Toronto. We're on lockdown.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
Toronto's not great.
Toronto's
but, I
not
mean,
great. Yeah.
Cleveland's on lockdown.
I mean, like obviously every big city is going to have there's a big
cities are
concentration
going
of
to
people,
have
but
problems. So
us compared to just like per 100,000 people, we're not as intense as like I think Georgia's doing. Has got some serious cases going on. So I think
so we're doing okay compared to most.
I think the Canadian division makes sense, and I kind of want to see that because this is kind of like a once in a hopefully the season after that when Seattle comes in is that you get to see like everything is back to normal.
All pretty much normal, yeah.
That's obviously the hope. But it's kind of cool to see like this once in a lifetime opportunities to see like what a all Canadian division would look like. And they say iron sharpens iron, so maybe it's like good Canadian teams help sharpen good Canadian teams, and then Ottawa's also
then Ottawa's there, and Ottawa's there to say hello. So two things I wanna bring up. One is to ask, but the thing I'm gonna bring up is for those of you that do listen to the show, if this all comes to plan and the season happens and everything, excuse me, whoa. You're going to have some great content because Chicago has to play the Red Wings again for the first time in the regular season in years in the same division. So if there's any arguing between Parse and I, we'll put a disclaimer.
It's just gonna be because we're recording every single week. You're gonna get a weekly spiciness.
Yeah, you're just gonna get a weekly.
When it's that 4-game.
Oh God, yeah, you're gonna get a weekly Parse just being like, you see how many goals Patrick Keane scored against the Red Wings, and I'll be like, no, I went blind that game. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's still signed to the team. So
I mean he's getting old, but it's gonna be good because there's gonna be a lot of old rivalries reignited because when the divisions got shifted back in 2014, 2015, it'll be really nice to see some older rivalries like reignited. I'm very curious to see who is ready to take on the Bruins in the East. Who is worthy enough?
Is anyone?
Carolina. If there's any team, I think it's going to be Carolina.
I guess it's Carolina. Well, the Islanders are.
Carolina, the Flyers, Islanders,
and
the
Flylanders.
They got to the playoffs, but it was not at all what they expected.
The Flyers?
Yeah, the Flyers.
Oh yeah, as happy as I am, they made that run. I don't think they should have been there in the first. Like, they're definitely a playoff team.
Yeah.
But doing as solid as they did, not expected that. But we'll see. Tampa's gonna have a really good time being defending champs because they've got the only threat I could see to them in their division is St. Louis. That's literally it.
Yeah, that's
true. Basically a battle of Florida down there for them, right?
Oh yeah, but Florida, but the Panthers are. How do I put this? Bad.
Yeah, they're not doing
St. Louis
too hot.
St. Louis will be pretty much like their only, I guess, competition.
Yeah, and then actually the West is kind of like is really just Colorado and Dallas
and Vegas. Do not forget Vegas.
Why you just
never forget Vegas.
Colorado, Dallas, and Vegas.
The fact that they have thrown down the money to get Robin Leonard and Alex Pietrangelo in the same offseason and spent like $8 billion to get the two of them.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like the three of them. And then you got because, I mean, Ducks aren't really doing much. The Kings aren't doing much.
The Kings are definitely on a better path to rebuild.
The Sharks aren't doing much.
The Sharks are gonna. I think the Sharks are gonna be the worst team this season.
Coyotes.
The Sharks are trying to get
about in a previous.
Burns everybody.
Yeah.
Start from scratch, man.
Yeah. No, the Sharks.
One shot and they blew it.
Yeah, the Sharks I think are going to be the worst team this coming season, and I am a Red Wings fan saying that. The Coyotes, it's going to be hard for them to survive, but yeah, expect like the best three teams in that division to be Colorado, Dallas, and
after our last episode.
Vegas.
Well, nice pickup there.
Arizona. Yeah, talking about Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
boy. So my assumption will be that when everything is said and done, the regular season, when playoffs come around, I don't know if they're going to go back to the whole 2014 thing like they did for this year, or if they're just going to go 16 again, so 4 teams from each division.
I feel like with only like so much time left in the year for their season, I think they're just going to try to rip off this Band-Aid as soon as possible.
I think so. Yeah.
Just in case there are any extra COVID cases.
Yeah. Just be like, okay, well, just go. But in the event they do, say the top 4 teams from each division will make the playoffs. Because that makes more sense. Not this wild card bullshit that they've been doing for the last, 5 years.
Dude, this wild card stuff they've been running for the last 5 years is honestly pointless. Like, it just makes it so you don't really know who's in or not. It makes it like, I remember
it's like you have
Buffalo was in.
Yeah.
And then they weren't. And you're like, what?
Oh, God.
I just want it back to the old days. It's four,
just top 8 in the conferences, and just see them as so.
If you're that 4th team in the division, you're looking at 5th and 6th, like,
yeah, because then you're going back to like Atlantic.
If you're first, you're like, let me rest my top guy.
Exactly.
Instead of skating 33 minutes, they skate 20 this time.
It's almost like baseball. Baseball is even more convoluted, I would say. Their playoff structure, it's like there's 3 different divisions within each league, and then like the top of
there's only There's only 2 leagues that the playoffs got better, and that's NFL because they added another team.
They added an extra team for the playoffs.
And NBA because now the 7th and 8th seed the 8th and 9th seed fight it out.
Which I really like, because it gives any team that's on the outside that chance to go in.
And NHL should adopt that the same way they should adopt their.
Yeah, like Buffalo should have had that last spot, then not Montreal. But no, we can't have nice things. So that being said, let's do some speculation here. Sportculation.
Let's do some sportculation.
So I'm gonna rename each division and all the teams, and we're gonna figure out just based on
Actually, I got a better.
little bit. Okay, all right.
Name a team, and we'll tell you if they're playoff bound or vacation bound. So I say playoff or vacation.
I like this game. All right.
Few reasons why.
Okay.
Before the even season started, we're just gonna let you guys know.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, like way off, it'll be so funny to turn back the tide of this episode. Be like,
don't quote us if we're wrong.
Yes.
it'll be like, hey, remember when he? Oh no.
Yeah, we're way wrong.
Yeah. Oh boy. Which actually, before we carry on with this, I got to give a shout out to hockey YouTuber Jillian Fisher, who some of her videos are great, but there was one video she did last summer, so before the 2019 season started, where on a drunken rant just started throwing out random possible predictions for the season, and her number 1 prediction was Dallas was gonna win the cup. So when Dallas made the finals, she was like, I should really stop drinking
and start betting.
Anyways, all right, so we're doing this, we're playoff or vacation.
Let's go.
All right, it's a game now. We're gonna make this a thing for one episode. Let's see. Okay, someone pick a number between 1 and 4.
I'll pick 1.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pick a number between 1 and 7.
Let's go with
6.
Vancouver.
Oh.
Oh, right off the bat.
Playoff team? Yeah, playoff team.
I think they're a playoff team.
I say it's a playoff team.
I think they're a playoff team.
Playoff team. They're a playoff
team.
They're
playing in the Canadian division. It's not like they're playing in the...
I think for Vancouver, what they lost during the offseason, Holtby will help a bit, and Thatcher Demko being the other goaltender will definitely be a big part of it. Their offensive core is still pretty much the same. They lost maybe a couple key pieces in defense, and that's about it. But I think Vancouver is still going to be a playoff team.
Because it's top 3, right? Or it's the top 4?
It's probably going to be top 4.
Top 4?
It's probably going to be top 4.
Yeah,
I think they're
Vancouver
going to be a
playoff
top 4
team.
team. Yeah.
They're playing in the Canadian division. At least 3 of those teams in the Canadian division not really.
It's like who
really
do we
playoff
know
teams.
is going to make it?
Yeah.
Like Toronto, who do we
Toronto
know is not going to make it? Is Ottawa.
Yeah.
So it gives us like 5 different options.
Exactly. Like you don't have a lot of just. Well, what if unless Ottawa just goes undefeated the whole season somehow because Eugene Melnick paid everyone
Plot twist.
with whatever money he has that he claims to have. We're not getting into that right now, though. That's a whole other thing.
Ottawa fans, I told you so. It's our year, guys.
Ottawa's like, we told you. It's like, hey, Matt Murray got hurt. He's out the whole season. We told you next year. All right. Pick a number between. All right. Another number between 1 and 4.
Let's go with 4 this time.
Okay. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 8. It's 8. The number is 8.
Thank you, Anton. Yes.
If it's a non-Canadian
Canadian
division,
team, it's 8. Okay, there we go. Math. Pick a number between 1 and 8, Parse.
Let's go with 3.
Ah, fuck. Colorado.
Yeah,
That's Stanley Cup, at least.
It's
Whoa, you said it last.
I know. Shut up. I know what I said.
Conference. Wait, sorry, hold on. How is playoff conference gonna work?
They don't know how the playoff seeding is gonna work yet, but I think people are assuming it's gonna be back to 1 and 8.
And like conference style.
I
Like
assume
division
so.
style?
I
Like,
assume so.
Is it division style, or are we going back?
I
to,
could see the Canadian
it's kinda
team
weird.
going with the
I
West.
don't know.
I'm
Central,
guessing it's like
East.
Canadian and Northeast, and then
And then Central and
Central
West.
and West.
I
That's
think
probably
yeah,
it.
that would make the most
Yeah.
sense. So I think like just based on assumptions, because nothing's obviously been written in stone yet, nothing's been confirmed. So this is just what we're going off assumption wise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Colorado. I'm gonna say they're a cup contender. They are absolutely one, and you can't say otherwise.
I think they're a good team. They definitely. This is probably going to be one of those years where they have to prove to themselves that they actually have the formula correct. Because if not,
I think I think the thing is
kind of tough.
No, not even, man. Colorado, you look at that roster, they have all the guys they need, they have signed for the next 3 years. And all the young guys they have coming up are brilliant players. So they're going to be fine. I think the thing Colorado always worried about, and it proved in the last playoffs, was that injuries are a thing. And they don't have the proper depth to survive that. So,
That's important.
That is important. All right.
Let's do a few more, and then
let's do a few more. Yeah, let's do. This is fun. This is fun. Yeah. All right, another number between 1 and 4.
3.
2.
Let's go 3. Let's go 3.
3.
All right, 1 and 8. Pick a number.
3 again.
Fuck.
Boston, isn't it?
Oh nope. It's damn it. I was literally in my head was like, don't say 3. Don't say 3.
Wait, is it Detroit?
Yep. It's the fucking Red Wings.
Of course.
Playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're definitely gonna get into the playoffs in 2020. That year. They're getting into the playoffs.
This has been the
in the year 200,002 and 20. Is Earth going to be around? Are humans going to be around? Nobody knows.
We have no idea.
But the other teams won't be around. So therefore, by default, the Detroit Red Wings won't be in the playoffs. No, you're right, Yusuf. This is a fun game. Let's continue playing.
Yeah, let's keep playing. I hate this already. Let me defend my Red Wings.
Go.
Taking a vacation.
So shut up. I honestly, looking at their division, if this is how it's gonna be, I know for a fact they're not gonna be the worst team in their division. I do not think they're gonna be the worst team. The thing, like the Red Wings, are still. The Red Wings are still like, bad, but they're not horrible. Steve Yzerman's done a lot of off-season moving this year. He's done a lot of buyouts, and he's made sure this team is ready within the next like 2-3 years to make an actual playoff push. But at least for the team that we have right now on paper, could be top 5 in the division. I don't think they'd be a playoff team. They could maybe like barely push in to like the 4th spot
in this season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think you gotta have to keep in mind.
Yeah, like you gotta have they kept
different players, right? Different.
Yeah, like they kept their main 3, so you have like Larkin, Mantha, and Bertuzzi on the first line. We signed John Merrill and Troy Stetcher for defense, which will help a lot because we don't have any defensemen that are good on the roster currently. We have Philip Hronek, who's still young, and then we have this German kid named Moritz Seider, who's currently on loan in Sweden right now. And if he comes back and makes the roster, that'll help. But he's still young, So we have two good, age defensemen there in signing. We have proper center depth now. Not amazing center depth, but we got something. The kid we picked this year in the draft, Lucas Raymond, the guy we got at 4th from Sweden. If he makes the team this year, that'll help a fair bit, but of course he needs to grow. And then our goaltending tandem is Thomas Greiss, which is still weird, and Jonathan Bernier, which, Bernier is not a superstar, but he'll win games. Greiss proved he was a good backup goalie in New York. I think the Red Wings will survive, but it'll probably be either 4th or 5th.
Head shakes from Parse.
Shut up, Parse.
And
no, it's just because he said Bernier, and I was agreeing with him. I was really liking it. Then he said Bernier can get you some.
What problem do you have in Bernier?
What?
Are you aware that of the 17 wins the Detroit Red Wings got last season, Bernier had 15 of them?
Well, okay.
And Jimmy Howard had 2?
Wow.
Okay.
Parse?
So, save percentage, man.
Anyways, I think the Red Wings will be, 5th probably in the division.
Okay.
I think.
Are you willing to bet? Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
A whole 6-pack says they're going to the playoffs.
Okay.
Like looking at the division, Tampa and St. Louis are probably going to be 1 and 2, depending on like who's going to be where. Could be up in the air. The third and injuries. Third, I don't know, because Nashville's just bad. They shouldn't be, but Nashville.
Maybe it was a bad year, right? They made some trades in the offseason.
They did, they did. That's true. We'll see about Nashville. Pittsburgh is in this weird decline.
Pittsburgh is another wild card.
We could do a whole episode on Pittsburgh, but we're not going to. Well, we might actually. Hell, why not? Florida's Florida.
Florida mans.
They're good for 2 months, and then they're just back down. Columbus is what I worry about.
I think Columbus is a playoff.
I think Columbus is going to be top 3.
Yeah, Columbus is a playoff team.
Yeah.
They're a defensive team. They're not. I don't think they're cup material right now.
Not yet. No.
They're not cup material, but they're definitely playoff.
But they're a very tanky, defense-heavy team.
They can keep up what they did in the playoffs last season.
Oh yeah. All right.
They can build on that success.
Yeah.
All right,
okay.
Final
we
division.
did. So we did every division except the East. So we have the East. Pick a number between 1 and 8, boys.
Parse.
Let's go with 6.
6. It is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The New York Rangers.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's actually a tough team. Yeah,
I think they're on vacation.
Okay. Why?
The whole rebuild scenario thing. I think their team, they saw what the Islanders were able to do. They didn't even make the playoffs. They weren't anywhere near it last season. And, it's time for King Henrik, that whole entire idealism.
Well, Henrik's not even there anymore.
He's not there. So it's they need to retool and rethink as to what is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're in a rebuild, a premature rebuilding stage, but my mind just tells me that they're not even thinking about this season. They're looking towards the drafts and stuff like that. That's why I call them vacation.
Well, so the argument is, and of course this is a point brought up by a friend of the show and dear friend of mine, Tyler, that because they drafted Alexei Lafreniere at first this year, that will definitely help the rebuild. It'll speed up the rebuild a lot, but does that mean they'll be a playoff team this year?
No, I mean, I think all rebuilds take about 2 to 3.
You don't believe in
from an NBA perspective, and it might be a little different.
Yeah, but do you think that maybe drafting a certain player will maybe speed up that rebuild by a year, or depending on who they pick up in off season?
I think a lot about Chicago in 2007, 8, and 9, but I don't think so. I think a lot more. I think they need to make some trade.
I mean, you think about Chicago though. like
They weren't
79.
well,
2007
okay,
they got Patrick Kane at first.
so-
2008 they got Taves. Like, and
Right.
then 2010 they won the cup.
Yeah,
2-3 years. But here's another thing as to why they weren't really a cup contender until they got Marion Hossa. That was
Fair
when
enough.
that's
Fair
when
enough.
it was cemented. It wasn't
enough.
really cemented.
And we're not talking about regular kind of like the whole point of this is like that it's going to be just within their own division.
Yeah.
There's only 3 per division, and it's a tough division.
Yeah, the East is not
So you're
gonna be
definitely
easy.
who you're gonna see? You're gonna see Boston in there.
the Bruins. You've got
You're
the
gonna see
Islanders.
The Islanders in there.
A very hungry Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, you're gonna see Washington
And
in there.
Carolina.
And,
no, you
and-
could definitely
so,
say
like,
Islanders are on the brink. You can't just have them shoe in.
no.
Very competitive.
I
No,
think
we're-
that the
we're-
Islanders can. But
I think the Islanders
if there's
could
any
do well,
4
yeah.
teams that are going to be contending
From the East, it's gonna be
it's
gonna
going
be
to
the
those
Bruins.
4.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be those
I don't
4.
think the Rangers.
We're not
stand a
we're not going to talk about the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh no, Carolina's in
that's
there.
what-
Carolina's in
like,
there.
Those are
Bruins,
the 4 that
Bruins,
we're talking
Islanders. No, we said 4, fool. We're talking about Bruins, Islanders, Hurricanes, Washington. We're talking about those 4. They are going to be the top in the East, probably.
Yeah. So like if
And
if those are the 4 that are going to fight for the 3 spots, then
Yeah, any
then
other
the Rangers
team-
stand no chance. They
Yeah.
stand about as much chance as as Buffalo or
Ha,
the Devils.
woohoo! All right. Yeah. All right. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap it up here. I know we said we were going to do one more.
Buffalo is on a playoff team.
Buffalo, signing Taylor Hall to 1 year at $8 million better do something for him.
I'd say they're a playoff team.
We'll see.
I know Anton doesn't believe me. I know.
We'll see.
I think so.
All right.
I want to see Buffalo succeed.
Same. I want to see Buffalo do well. But, there's just bad luck and kind of bad management. Anyways, before we wrap up, we'll do one more. Because, of course, we have to do this one. The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh yes, of course.
Of
I
course we
think
have
I already
this one.
said it. Playoff.
Yeah,
This is-
they're
this is four-
a
this
playoff
is a
team.
4-team. 4.
Yeah. If it's going to
Is
be
it
a
three?
4.
3.
If it's
No,
if it's going to be
Even
a
if it
4-team,
was
14.
that Canadian division
qualifying?
you already write off 2 of them.
14. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going to be top 4.
Ottawa, so I
The only
I can do it.
It's if they're going to. I guess we can't even talk about playoffs because we're not even sure what the seeding's going to look like.
yeah, exactly.
So I can't even say whether or not
No.
they're going to be in
Well,
the quarterfinals or anything.
yeah.
because I don't know.
because
what the setup is.
playoff seeding, whenever that's decided and figured out, that could be fucking anything. And I know Sportsnet was talking about this yesterday with like Ken Reed and those guys, and they were like, well, if the Maple Leafs can, they can make the playoffs through this Canadian division. Not again. Oh, never mind. You froze for a second. If they can, they'll definitely be a top 2 team in the Canadian division. Like it'll be good for them, I think.
Just
but the
every time
question
we get
is,
into the playoffs.
outside of the division, when the playoffs start, do they have to deal with Boston or Tampa?
Maybe this new seeding, this new seeding chart or whatever
Mm-hmm.
for the playoffs will be good for Toronto. Maybe Canadian division meets up with the West division, and like obviously it's a concern that we'd have to square off against like
Yeah.
Colorado or Vegas, but like
Oh God, if we had Vegas in the first round,
yeah, like that would be abysmal. Like we would not
that's-
survive. But
yeah,
I mean,
we're not
if
winning.
in
That
the
might be
first
a lot of
round,
fun.
like
It would be
faced off
fun.
against,
It'd be different.
it'd be different, but we
if
know
we
we're
faced
not
off
winning.
against like I don't know who would be Minnesota. Like I feel
Yeah.
like they could be kind of on the brink of being that 4th.
Yeah, Minnesota could be
think-
a playoff team.
So like if we face
Minnesota
off against
or-
Minnesota, then we can
or Arizona,
we can finally make it to the second round.
And then whoever we find in the second round is probably gonna eat us.
Yeah,
Dallas.
But at least
Dallas,
we don't have
probably.
to face
Dallas.
Boston.
Yeah,
That's why they
avoid
save it for the Stanley Cup final. Oh God. Oh God.
Boston versus Toronto.
For the
Damn.
Stanley Cup.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
if that
no.
seating chart beats that. Okay, all right.
Well,
minutes
nightmare
left.
speculation aside, we're wrapping up here. My final thoughts are plain and simple. Please, Detroit, survive this division if it all comes to happen, and also at least one win over Chicago. That's all I ask. Just one win on Chicago. One.
They have fewer
Ours
COVID
is already
cases.
met. Yeah,
They have
true.
that's one
They
win.
do. Yeah, that's great. Hooray! I still can't go home to visit my folks there, but that's great.
I almost can. Final thoughts. Yeah, I honestly think Chicago might be on vacation this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think it's either they're
all
gonna.
All of our teams are going on vacation this
Yeah.
year. Winnipeg is going on vacation.
Winnipeg's going. The Red Wings are probably going.
We got a lot of young guys and a good chance to still trade Kane, even though he's still here and even though we were able to retain him and Taves. But we're also just we're humming on those fumes of what used to be, and it's like, do we want to take the chance and rebuild, or do we want to see how far it can get us? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anton. My final thoughts are I kind of look forward to this new interesting Canadian division because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to see this sort of interesting chart of combination of different teams put together, and then how they deal with each other and how they play square off against each other. Like, you don't see a whole lot of Canucks and Senators face off against each other very often.
Yeah,
Actually,
exactly.
We know who's going to win in that scenario, but like you don't see a lot of like Montreal and the Canucks.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of Montreal and Canucks that sort of like Toronto and Edmonton because they're just too far, and so so I think
Toronto,
more of those games is going to be exciting.
Oh yeah, and from a viewership standpoint, from like TV view and TV ratings, the idea of a 2-game series between teams like Edmonton and Toronto, that's money right there.
Oh yeah, it hypes you up more.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
I feel
a lot of hype.
If it was like kind of like baseball level, if it was a 3-game series,
yeah.
If it was like that, because then you'd be like, oh, who wins this series?
Yeah,
even though it
it's
doesn't,
like
who
the
wins
win-loss
the series
record within that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, but it still adds a little bit of extra hype. And then obviously, the sports betting. People who are doing the sports bet, they can create like, oh, who do you think is going to win this series?
Who's going to win this series? Who's going to win that series? Yeah, it's like, will Ottawa shut a team out all 3 games? No, but if you want to bet money on it, sure, go ahead. Just put on all the money you want on Ottawa winning a game. But yeah, so that's about. I think we're good here with final thoughts. We're all good, man. This should be really interesting when it actually happens. Whenever it happens, they're still figuring out when the start date for the league is going to be. But while we're waiting for that, we'll keep doing this show. This has been the Sportculation Podcast. Tune in next time because we have a very special episode coming next with a collab. I can't say with who just yet, but you'll find out when we release the episode.
Yep.
So until then, I have been Yusuf.
I've been Parse.
I'm Anton.
And I am also Parse. Goodbye.
Go Sens.
Let's go. Wait, what? Hold on.